If you remember over the past few days as we've been going through Exodus chapter 5, we've had a lot of issues with straw for the bricks. Because bottom line, Pharaoh wanted to make it harder on the people. He wanted to punish them for even thinking about wanting to go and worship their God for a moment, right? He hated them. He didn't want anything good for them. He wanted to use them up. And so when the Israelite leaders, the elders, approach Pharaoh about this, they are rebuked. They're called lazy, and they're told that they'll have to gather their own straw to make the bricks, to mix in with the clay. They'll have to make their own and just keep making the same number of bricks and deal with it. So you can imagine how they felt when they came out of this. In verse 20 of Exodus chapter 5, we're just going to look at 2 verses today. It says, as they left Pharaoh's court, they confronted Moses and Aaron, who were waiting outside for them. The foreman said to them, may the Lord judge and punish you for making us stink before Pharaoh and his officials. You have put a sword into their hands, an excuse to kill us. So they were mad when they came from the presence of Pharaoh. And they couldn't exactly yell at Pharaoh. That equals the lopping off of your head. So instead of yelling at Pharaoh, they yelled at Moses. Makes sense, right? They yell at Moses and Aaron. And they even say to them, may the Lord judge and punish you for making us stink before Pharaoh and his officials. So once again, they're more concerned with Pharaoh than they are God. Even though they have heard from God through Moses and Aaron, they have seen miracles. They saw the staff turn into the snake and turn back. They saw Moses' hand be just eat up with leprosy and contaminated and then to be instantly healed. They saw these things. The first hardship they reject, right? The first hardship. We have to understand that over the course of our lives, we are going to deal with hardship. Some of that hardship will be brought on by ourselves and our sin and our rejection of God. And some of that hardship is actually going to be brought on us by God Himself, because He understands sometimes that we have to go through a refining fire. You know, we have to be purified. We have to deal with some tough things to bring us to be the people He wants us to be. Could God have just up and removed the Israelites from the nation of Egypt with no struggle? Yes, He could have. Was that going to be the best thing for the nation? No. He was forging them to be the people that would see the Red Sea parted, that would go to Mount Sinai, that would deal with the 40 years in the wilderness, and ultimately their children would enter the Promised Land. They were being built to be the nation of Israel, and they had to come to a place of trusting God even through difficult circumstances, even when things didn't seem to be working like they wanted. And we're the same way. We have to trust God even in difficulty. Trust the Lord. Turn to God. Trust in Him and lean not on your own understanding. That's what Israel had to get into their heads, and we do too. Hope to see you soon.